I think you're sitting where a lot of coaches want to be, and they're chasing things that you have. And that's where I'd like to go during this last part, is just because one of the things that you said to me is you thought that winning might have been the thing that drove John Wooden out.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that.
I think if you read his book, not his book, the one that Seth Davis wrote, I think what comes across is the burden of winning, and it gets heavy. And if he was coaching today, it'd be even worse. And I think at that time, that having to win, a national championship, followed by another and another and another and another and another. I think it's 7 in a row. I think if you read the book, it's one of the best books. His assistant swears that when they were in Lou Alcindor's house, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when they were in Lou Alcindor's house, that John Wooden tried really, really hard to make sure he didn't come to UCLA. He tried to unrecruit him because he knew that if I sign this guy, that means 3 more years that we have to go undefeated. And I'm not sure he wanted to deal with that. When we started the season, the schedule that we set up, short of throwing a game, which, you can't do. I mean, this isn't, European or South American soccer where, short of like throwing the game, I would have done anything to lose in November and December 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I could care less. I was praying for somebody to beat our ass. Praying to the point, like in the very first game against Florida State, I'm sitting there's like 2 minutes left, and I'm like, we're gonna lose. Like I was so happy that our players were gonna experience something that some of them have never experienced in college. And we won the damn game. I was really pissed. Like, we win the game at the end. One of the kids Nafisa Collier blocks a shot. We win the game at the end. Now I'm like, all right, they just dodged a bullet. Now we got Baylor in 2 days. We're going to get smoked. We go in, and we beat their brains in because, they helped us. I hate to say that. I don't know Baylor people in here, but they helped us a little bit. And we end up winning again. And I go, don't worry. When we go to Notre Dame, and we beat them. And we just keep winning and winning. And I go home, and I am more miserable after every game. Because what else do I got to do to lose? And those kids just kept winning and winning. Now, meanwhile, I'm going to practice telling them, nobody can beat us. I say, you know what? We might not have Stewie. We don't have Mariah Jefferson. We don't have Morgan Tuck. You know what? All people want to talk about is who we don't have. Screw that, man. You know what we have here? We have Connecticut basketball players. And as long as we have Connecticut basketball players playing Connecticut basketball, nobody's going to beat us. You got that? And then we would play, and I would go home and go, please, let this be the day we lose, And it just never happened. And then by the time you get to the Final Four, and we played our worst game, and the other guys played great. And it's in overtime. And when that kid made that shot, I was like, finally. And everybody said, what a great sport he is. Not a great sport. I was just happy we lost. I could care less who it was that won.
How does it get to that point for you?
If you keep putting in unlimited amounts of winning, it's like having an unlimited amount of money, and you have a piggy bank, and you stuff it with money. And what did you have to do to get that money? Not a lot. You just have it. And you just keep stuffing it in there, and stuffing it in there, and stuffing it in there. And after a while, somebody goes, yo, here's $5 million. All right, jam it in there. All right, here's $10 million. And you go, after a while, the numbers mean nothing to you. 0. It's just shove it in there. And after a while, the winning became, like, every win feels the same. You never got a chance to, get excited about a win. All right, so maybe there was 3 or 4 games that you got real excited about. But the rest of the time, it was just business as usual. Good job, man. That was great. See you guys tomorrow. So you're conjuring up things to say in the locker room and at practice. You're coaching through winning, which is not easy to do. Now, what are you going to tell kids when they win every game by 40? And it doesn't matter if you're playing the second best team in the country or not. So after a while, the wins became, you were numb to the winning. You're stone-faced.
Well, I sent you the Pat Riley article.
It's an amazing article. The demons that he's chasing, and we all have them, obviously, and this unbelievable desire to win at all, win, to chase, and not even winning sometimes, just chase that perfect game. It's like, Captain Ahab, I guess. You're chasing that perfect fish, and you got to get it, you got to get it, you got to get it. And if you keep getting it, the chase is over now. So what do you have left? So for us, there needed to be, the chase needed to start over again. And I'm happy that next year we start fresh. We start without the winning streak, without the 4 national championships in a row, without people talking about, they're going to win 250 in a row. Stop it. We just start like everybody else, 0-0. And now, for the first time in their college careers, some of my players felt what it feels like to lose a game. You shouldn't have to wait till your junior year in college to lose a game. Oh, seriously, right? I know some teams that lose more games in a week than we lose in 2 years. That's not normal.
And what do you feel like your biggest internal conflict is at this point in your career?
Internal conflict?
Yeah.
The battle that I have with myself is, what's the point now? What's the point? What am I going to do that hasn't been done? What are you going to ask me to do that I haven't done? It's hard for me to answer that question. Now, I was saying this at our leadership conference. When you've already done more than anyone else has ever done, and you say to yourself, I'm going to do more. How's that possible? It's a scary thought to think that you can, because that's an arrogant thought. I always said this, and I'm not speaking out of turn because he's a friend of mine, but I always thought that was the beginning of Tiger's downfall. And I told him that. When in the year 2000, he was the best player that ever picked up a golf club. You couldn't beat him in a million years. The other guys could never beat him. All you had to do was play his A game, and the best players in the world were playing for second place. They knew it, he knew it, everybody knew it. And somebody asked him, where do you go from here? You won, 8 out of the last 10 majors, whatever it was. He goes, I can get a lot better. I went, it's over. Because now you start tinkering with stuff that's perfect. It's like you've already built the perfect car. Everything's perfect. And now you're going to bring it in the garage and try to make it better? That's a scary proposition, because there's a better chance you're going to screw it up than you're actually going to make it better. So for me, it's like, how the hell am I going to make this better than it is? And it scares me.
Well, and so maybe we can end with these two. I love asking these questions. If you were going to fill this sentence in, the truth about achievement is?
The truth about achievement is you can't plan for it. You can't sit here today and tell me what you're going to achieve in the next 5 years. You can tell me what you're going to achieve tomorrow. Tonight, tomorrow, maybe the next day, that's it. But thinking that you can think that far ahead and plan that far ahead and not have anything get in the way, I don't think you can plan for it. I think you have to just prepare yourself. This is what I always like to tell my players and my coaches. You have to prepare yourself that if you're lucky and fate taps you on the shoulder and says, it's your turn, dude, you better be ready. If you're not, there's no guarantee that it's going to tap you again. It may never tap you again. You're done. You lost the moment. If fate taps you and you're not ready, that's your fault. If you're always ready and fate never taps you on the shoulder, nothing you can do about that.
The key to fulfillment.
The key to fulfillment, don't try to fill it. Don't try to fill it. We spend all our lives filling everything that we have. We have to fill it. Fill it with stuff. Fill it with things. Fill it with money. Fill it with awards. Fill it with, adulation, recognition, whatever the case may be. We want to have a full life. And then we're stuffed full, and we can't live a happy life. The key to fulfillment is be nimble enough that you can actually enjoy it.
Let's give it up for Geno.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That was fun.